Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. We're going to do another build update for our Carrion Golem Guardian League starter today, and basically we've done enough upgrades to the point where I wouldn't call this like League start anymore, but I want to talk about where the upgrade and where I'm going with this build. I'm going to keep playing for a while, but having a ton of fun. I've actually been blasting through the League mechanic on just blasting maps pretty much the last like day and a half, and it's been super fun. I didn't realize people are having problems with the League mechanic and that it was like still really strong. I haven't really noticed, so I think that's a testament to how strong this build actually is. Just kind of been walking through some sort of death here and there, but like we're softcore, and I really haven't noticed much of an issue just like fully juicing the League mechanic. But I want to talk about the first big upgrade we did today. We probably crafted maybe the best wand we'll see in the league for a while. Bought this fractured base for 10 divines, so basically spent a whole day farming up divines and ended up with this. I guess I farmed 10 like not raw divines, but like easily tradable divines, so still have a ton of currency in the bank, but bought this base, did about 3 to 4 divines in crafting to get this done. If you want to know how to craft something like this, make sure to check out the link in the below. I did a whole full crafting guide of how to craft a +2 minion wand with a trigger, so it can be a painful craft, but we got ours done pretty good, and this is by far the best minion wand I think I've ever had. It's T1 damage, minion attack cast speed. I think it's like T5, but like T4. So not great, but it was free. So all I wanted to do was hit +1/+1, and we did, and then T1 damage. So this is a pretty insane wand. Pretty happy about this, and it definitely automates the build because we get Desecrate, Flesh Offering on our trigger. Downside of this, we can't use Clay Shaper anymore, so we do lose 1 golem. This wand definitely makes up for the loss of damage of 1 golem by far. Like having 4 strong golems is better than 5 weaker golems in this case, so make sure to do that. If you do that, do PoE it out first when you're checking wands to make sure that you're actually gaining damage by dropping your golem from 5 to 4, but in this case it definitely is. Other than that, build pretty much still the same. We had to drop Smite because we're using a wand now. I was using Smite in March of the Legion boots. It was like a level 25 Smite, but since we're using a wand, we can't actually attack with Smite anymore, so there's no point in having it. That being said, I'm going to drop March of the Legion boots soon for a real pair of boots. Something with move speed, life, cast resistance, hopefully. And yeah, next big upgrades for me, we're still going to go Darkness and Throne belt. This is a pretty bad belt. Basically just says life and carrying a little bit of our dex requirements. Other than that, there's nothing on this belt that I need. So we definitely want to go Darkness Enthroned. Get our 2 Ghastly Eye Jewels. Ghastly Eye Jewels I've been crafting really well. They're pretty expensive, so make sure if you are doing that Ghastly Eye Jewel stuff, still try to alt spam them. If you have a bunch of alterations, you can get a pretty good Ghastly Eye Jewel that way. Other than that, build's looking pretty good. We're going to upgrade Shield. We'll look to get +1 minion skill gems on the shield. And that's where we're at. So the next part of the build video I want to talk about is where we're going from here. Basically, what I want to do is, since we got our trigger wand, build felt much smoother, not casting Spirit Offering, I want to see how much of this build we can actually end up automating. So as of right now, things I'm casting are Sentinel of Radiance, Divine Blessing Haste, and Elemental Weakness, and then Convocation's left click. What I've determined is there's no way to change Convocation and Sentinel of Radiance. Basically, these have to be cast. Convocation's instant on left click, and then Sentinel of Radiance is every 30 seconds. So that's not horrible, but what I want to do is automate Haste and Elemental Weakness. So Haste is pretty simple, just expensive. Basically, you can do the new Corpse, Perfect Forest Tire to get cast Haste. We'll use this instead of Divine Blessing. This also would replace Carnage Chieftain because it has 5% chance to grant a Frenzy Charge to allies on hit. So this will replace Carnage Chieftain in our Spectre setup, and then it casts Haste as well. The other new Spectres I'm looking at is Perfect Naval Officer. Again, this one's pretty expensive, but cast Precision. This actually allows us to drop one of our masteries from the Minion offense for plus accuracy. We get more accuracy from this Precision. And then plus Fortification is also really good. That, and then the last one I want to make sure to add into the build is Hulking Miscreation Perfect version. Nearby allies gain 20% of Fizz as extra lightning. This is a pretty big damage increase. Remember, we're dealing Fizz and converting to Elemental. Since we're dealing Fizz, we still get this buff. These constructs are cool. This Minions, I had it for a while, not using it right now, but it is super annoying though in your hideout. So turn your game volume off if you're using Perfect Hulking Miscreation. It will drive you absolutely insane, but he's pretty cool. and he's enormous, so that's fun. Last one I want to talk about is Hydra. I have the ability to use 4 spectres now that we have a level 25 race spectre, so I might use Hydra as well. The problem is this Hatred Aura is worse than the one that our relics cast, so we would actually just want to use regular Hydra, not Perfect Hydra. So regular Hydra would actually be better than Perfect Hydra in this scenario, which is good because regular Hydra is actually pretty cheap. So keep that in mind if you are playing. Let's talk about the tree setup I have going on. Right now I am doing a 1 cluster setup. What I really want to do is get to the spell suppression wheel. Other end goal for I have going forward is I want to replace my chest with a spell suppression, then we'll replace these boots with spell suppression. This one gets me evasion, and there's also a grace spectre that will be interesting that grants grace. We could go like spell suppression, evasion, armor evasion, and that could be really interesting. Basically I have to wait until we get the haste spectre though, because we can't use divine blessing without a lot of energy shield. So I need to keep the energy shield up for now. But once we have the haste spectre, we don't need divine blessing. We don't need that much energy shield, so we can we'll still use Eldritch Rider. We just don't need as much energy shield on our build, so that'll be really nice. Right now we're getting a lot of energy shield from our shield, and that's pretty much enough to carry our requirements after we don't have divine blessing. Other than that, I also added the endurance charge small cluster to this build. This endurance charge cluster is something I pretty much add to every guardian build. It's super strong, easily craftable. You can basically alt spam up 2 passive armor small cluster. The trick to this one is that you gain 1 endurance charge every second if you've been hit recently. It's important to remember that beam blocking counts as being hit. So we're a block based build. We're getting hit a lot actually. We're basically block capped. So those count as hits. This gets you your endurance charges. We're basically running +3 endurance charge. If you have the points for it, you can get even for 1 more point, you can get 4 endurance charges. This is a good source of physical damage reduction. Super boosts up our health pool. Last upgrade I want to talk about is Charms. I'm only using 1 right now. The Onslaught one is by far the best in the slot for minions, so make sure you get Onslaught. I'm using minions have additional PDR with it. That's super good. The other one I want to talk about is there is one that gives you and your allies +10 or something elemental resistance. Pretty good strong. Like that one. If we automate our curse using Profane Proxy, which I'm not sure I'm going to do, I don't love Profane Proxy as a ring, but we might consider doing that, is that we would put in the curse explosion from Occultist, and I think that would be a really fun way to help our clear speed. Not that we really need it, but it would just be fun to have. So those are the upgrades I'm looking to do. Other than that, only other upgrade is I think once we get rid of some of these sockets, like with Haste, Divine Blessing, we might have enough room that we can move zombies into its own 4-link and do some cool stuff and have golems in a 6-link. So be sure to click subscribe, follow along, because we're going to try to look to do that in the next couple of days and get this build like fully automated. I'm super excited to do something like that. It's kind of like my goal in this game is to automate as much as possible on a build, and we're super close on this one. I can feel it just with the new specters. Really opened up really eased a lot of the socket pressure this build normally has. So I'm going to wrap it up there before I keep on rambling too long. But if you enjoyed this content and you're having fun with the build, make sure to click a like, subscribe, follow down below, and catch me live on Twitch. We've been streaming like 12-14 hours a day, so I'm having so much fun in this league actually. I don't know if I just keep playing it. I'll end my stream and keep playing for like 3 more hours. So anyways, thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time.